Hello, hello, hello. My name is Candy J, your favorite sexologist and relationship coach. Today is Marriage Monday. Marriage Monday. So guys, last Monday or so, I talked about a very near and dear topic to me about triggers. And triggers are so very important. And we talked about how triggers are from sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. So if you did your homework like I asked you to, yes, Candy gives homework. You just watching this for no reason? No, you gotta do the work. So I gave you homework, and it was to go to talk to your significant other about what their triggers are. So now you know what your triggers are, and I hope you did the work. But it's not too late. You can always put in the work and talk to your significant other about what their triggers are. And so now that you know that, when did you develop this trigger? So let's just say, for example, your trigger was not being supported. So when do you think that developed? I have a situation from one of my clients where her mom always never showed up for anything. Not a recital, not a dance thing, not her singing in the choir, nothing. Her being in plays, she was a drum major at, I think that's what you call them, never showed up for anything. So she got this sense of being not supported. So over the years, that kind of built up. Then you got to think about things. How did you respond? How do you respond when that trigger is pushed, right? So let's, for instance, you have this big speech at a local college, and you tell your significant other that you're really nervous about it, and you just seeing their face in the crowd would make it so much better for them, and you would have confidence, right? And then they don't show up. How do you respond to that? You don't think it's related, but it goes all the way back to when your mom did not show up for anything. So how do you react when that trigger is pushed? Do you lash out? Do you call them all kinds of names? Do you give them the freeze out and the silent treatment? What do you do when that trigger is pushed? You got to know what your actions are. Let's think about that. Now that you know all of those things, and you know you should not react in the manner of a negative way, because the reaction should be more of, yes, you upset me, you disappointed me, you angered me, whatever your emotion was, you need to talk to your significant other about it in a calm fashion. Not when you're upset about it, but in a manner of which they can, that you can be heard and understood, right? So what is the relationship goal once you've identified these triggers? Well, maybe it's to have a healthy relationship. Maybe it's to not react when that person pushes that trigger. Maybe it's to allow that person to see that this is a hot button, and it's always going to be a hot button. But if you would just accommodate me, if you could just compliment me in the way of showing up there, then maybe I wouldn't react this way to this particular trigger. And I've got to do the work. I've got to heal for myself, right? But you play a contribution into that because now you are my significant other. What is the cost of your behavior? What is the cost of your behavior? If you lash out and you call your significant other names and you want to run them over with a car, or don't do that. But whatever your reaction is, what is the cost? Is it losing that significant other? Is it losing a license because you've gone to jail for running over your significant other? Whatever. What is the cost? It could be just that now you've taken 5 steps back in your relationship that you've built so high, right? So you've got to think about that. But now What is my new behavior? You have to make the conscientious decision to change that behavior. What is my new behavior choice, right? So my new behavior choice has to be express what I need before it happens, right? People are human. They're going to forget sometimes that that's a hot button and that's a trigger for you. But it's how you react to the situation when it still happens. Even though you've told this person this is what you need, it still may happen, and that's okay. But you have to know how to deal with it. And so we'll also talk about that on part 3 of Marriage Monday next week. But I just wanted to give you some things to think about. So this has been Marriage Monday. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you get notifications. I'll see you tomorrow.